I've been wanting to do a video on saints for a very long time. And one reason it has taken me a long time to put this video together is I haven't figured out a great way to narrow down the topic of saints because there's so much material to work with. Finally, I decided to offer to you 5 quotes today from some great saints, and they touch on topics such as suffering, prayer, on those away from the faith, on worry, and on our daily work. Now, why do we want to talk about saints and why does it matter? Because one great saint once said, and this is Saint Teresa of Avila, "Those from whom I receive the greatest consolations and encouragement are those whom I know to be dwelling in paradise." So let's see what some great saints have to say. In each of these cases, I won't offer a lot of commentary, very little, if any, because I just want the quotes to speak for themselves. So the first one on suffering, St. Faustina. Just to give you a little bit of context, her mother was seriously ill at this time, and she describes in the book, in her diary, how she went to visit her mother and how she prayed. She said, "I offered the whole night for my seriously ill mother, that God might grant her the grace of losing none of the merits of her suffering." I find it so interesting that she didn't necessarily pray for her healing, but that God would recognize the merits of her suffering. The second quote from a special saint that I would like to offer is on prayer, and this one is from Saint Therese of Lisieux, and the quote states, "I tell God what I want quite simply, without any splendid turns of phrase, and somehow He always manages to understand me." Our third saintly perspective is on those away from the faith. Saint Junipero Serra did amazing missionary work, much of it in California. There were many setbacks that it describes in this book as setbacks that would discourage a lot of people. And don't we get discouraged a lot of times when it seems that God isn't answering our prayers? But here's a quote from Saint Junipero Serra. "I put my trust in the Lord who created them and redeemed them with the most precious blood of His Son. He will bring them to the fold in the manner and at the time that He will be pleased to do so." Saint Josephine Bakhita is my fourth person who I'd like to take a quote from. A lovely saint with so much to learn from. But in this case, I chose one. Some of the sisters asked her why she remained so calm all the time. And they even asked her, "Have you no passions like the rest of us? Worries and things that disturb your peace?" And she answered, "Of course I have. But when they are really troublesome, I say to them, 'Keep still now, and I'll attend to you later.' And then I go on with my work, and by degrees, they just die away." My final quote and saintly perspective comes from Saint Gianna Molla. A lot of us tend to wonder sometimes about the meaningfulness of our daily work, or are we praying enough? Are we praying unceasingly? I think St. Gianna's quote speaks to this very well. She said, "One earns paradise with one's daily task." I hope that, and some of these quotes have meant something to you. Feel free to write them up or type them up, put them on your bathroom mirror, because these encouragements and consolations, like I mentioned in the quote from St. Teresa of Avila at the beginning of the video, are ones that we do need to pay attention to, because these are people who are enjoying paradise. We know them to be dwelling in paradise, which is our ultimate goal. Mary, Queen of Heaven, pray for us. Saint Elizabeth, pray for us.